There is a strong connection between JRPGs and anime. Their stories, character designs, and thematic themes frequently influence one another. As a result of this mutually beneficial partnership, some of the most cherished and recognizable video games ever made have been produced. Today, I want to examine how anime aesthetics, storytelling tactics, and cultural topics have affected the evolution of this genre as we delve into the significant influence of anime on JRPGs. Hello everyone, my name is Vegero and this is Cozy Veggie, and on this channel we cover a variety of things such as video essays, reviews, JRPGs, and all things cozy gaming. Now, I've been a fan of anime for as long as I can remember. One of my earliest memories, of course, like many other people, was on Saturday morning there'd be certain cartoons on a certain channel. Can't remember what channel it was, but I just remember watching stuff like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z all the time with my brother, and absolutely loving Sailor Mercury. She was my favorite Sailor Scout, and just learning more about their adventures, and of course Serena crying all the time, almost every other scene, and of course Tuxedo Mask being my first ever real proper crush. But either way, I loved anime, and that grew as I got older. In my middle school and high school years, I got into other shows. I remember back in the day when anime was kind of like not as popular or mainstream. The only way you could watch it without it being illegal, I guess, would be watching it in like 50 different parts on YouTube. If y'all remember those days, like this video. But I remember watching a ton of different anime such as like Ouran High School Host Club or Kami-sama Cliss. One of my favorite OGs of all time, Clan End, tore my heart to pieces with that anime. Not only do I love the medium of anime, but I've also loved manga. I have a huge shelf, literally a whole shelf just dedicated to manga alone. I just love anime and manga. But as I've gotten into JRPGs in most recent years, I've noticed both anime and JRPGs share a lot of things, whether it be character dynamics, archetypes, themes, or even artistic styles. They have a lot of similarities, so I wanted to break down what the influence anime has in JRPGs. The visual aesthetics of JRPGs are one area where anime has left a clear influence. There are often obvious similarities between anime and character designs, locations, and visual styles used in other media. JRPGs are often associated with anime-esque character designs that include big, expressive eyes, vibrant hair, exaggerated facial expressions. Characters from games like Fire Emblem, Vanillaware games, and Tales of series serve an excellent example of this tendency, as they would fit very well in anime series. What I've noticed from animes and JRPGs is they share a lot of stylistic choices, whether the head size of a character, the eye size, or just overall build of characters. Both anime and JRPGs are very similar in that aspect. I think a great example one I can think of is a lot of the Tales of game look straight out of a manga panel. I mean, heck, they even have certain cutscenes where it looks like you're reading off of a manga. Another thing I noticed is that when I played Xenoblade Chronicles for the first time, I played it through Definitive Edition on the Switch. And if you compare it to the original on the Wii and the Switch version, you can definitely see the animation, even if that's a word, of both versions. I feel like the original Xenoblade Chronicles kind of gives off more of a Western RPG kind of style, and I feel like a lot of JRPGs kind of looked in that kind of style back in the day. But if you compare it to the most recent entry and a lot of the other entries in the Xenoblade franchise, they kind of take that stylistic choice, which I know a lot of people could favor the original OG designs and some prefer the newer refresh of them. I don't know, I've not played the original yet, and I have it in my collection. I do plan to play it soon. I definitely can see how the animification of it all is impacted in their most recent entries as well, and other JRPGs as well. Beyond just aesthetics, anime also has an impact on storytelling strategies used in JRPGs. Both media have a fondness for deep themes, nuanced character development, and elaborate storylines. JRPGs frequently take their cues from narrative tropes seen in anime such as epic sagas, coming-of-age narratives, and heroism stories. Another commonality is of the fantastical and whimsical worlds that both anime and JRPGs share. I feel like a common fantasy, whether it be fantasy, isekai, you name it, has very expansive worlds and dynamic characters and rich landscapes that I also see very present in a lot of JRPGs that I play. JRPGs whose games are frequently split into several arcs or chapters that each advance the main story while delving into the past and present interactions between characters. By taking an emotive approach to the hero's journey, this narrative technique makes it possible for players to feel empathy and connection that is similar to that of engaging with an anime series. With its incorporation of themes of honor, duty, camaraderie, and self-discovery, anime reflects Japanese culture. In a similar vein, JRPGs frequently delve into the cultural themes, giving players an insight into Japanese customs and values. From the idea of nakama, which is comrades in Dragon Quest, to existentialist philosophical ideas in Nier Automata, JRPGs incorporate a wide range of cultural influences, many of which have their origins in anime. Now, I know I have not played a lot of JRPGs, but the JRPG franchises that I've dabbled into, such as Persona and Tales of, I feel like really encapture the anime art style, as well as, of course, the storytelling aspects as well. I actually was first introduced to Persona and the Persona franchise through its anime, Persona 5 the animation, and I feel like whether it was translated well to anime form is up to debate. I know that some people prefer the other entries in their anime versions, but it's very interesting how the storytelling and how all has like its beginning, its arcs, different arcs, climax, and of course the ending resolution found in Persona. I feel like in the beginning we're getting to know these characters, and then as we get to know the characters and them and being phantom thieves, you see them kind of find their purpose, find their stride. Obviously, don't want to go into spoiler territory, but they come to a big head and then they resolve at the end. But I feel like a lot of anime and JRPGs kind of share similar storytelling devices. I feel like many JRPGs are very episodic in nature. They have their peaks and their valleys, and then they have, of course, their huge climax at the very heat of it all. And then, of course, they also fall to a resolution at the very end of it. Now, it goes without saying that I feel like with any medium, whether that be anime, JRPGs, any type of video game genre, or TV, whatever it may be, it feels like it's a perfect place to, question a lot of cultural themes, norms, and societal expectations. And I feel like JRPGs and anime definitely do that quite a lot. Again, I'm bringing up Persona 5 because it's one of my favorites, is that they definitely question societal norms and whether you should, succumb to what everyone expects you to be. And rather than that, listen to who you are as a person and lean into that and be that person that is held deep within your heart. I think that's very important too, especially in a society like Japan where it's pretty collective rather than it being individual. And I think games like Persona allows you to question that and realize it's okay to be yourself and that you bring so much to this bleak world and that you are important and who you are and how you present yourself is important. I feel like both anime and JRPG share themes of redemption and perseverance and fighting between the goods and evil, and that resonates with not only the players but also the watchers as well. Being able to really stand on who you are and stand into who you believe in, and also just questioning societal norms is definitely very reoccurring themes in both anime and JRPGs that I feel like we're very much, in the forefront in a lot of big anime titles, but then we're also impacted in a lot of JRPG titles as well. There is no denying that anime had a significant impact on JRPGs, influencing everything from visual aesthetics to the narrative devices and cultural themes. This mutually beneficial partnership has improved the gaming environment while also encouraging players all across the world to appreciate and understand different cultures. One thing is clear, though, anime and JRPGs will always inspire and enthrall viewers for many years to come, even as both genres develop and innovate. Overall, it's really interesting to see the parallels between anime and JRPGs because they both have a lot of recurring themes and aspects to them that are very symbiotic in nature. I feel like it's really interesting as someone who consumes both of them to see how much they are alike. It's really interesting to see. So comment down below, what's your favorite anime and your favorite JRPG? And whether maybe that might be both, because I know that there's a lot of crossover between the two as well. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye!